So I can say good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Yeah, thank you so much. So my name is Saleh Nemer. I'm the chief architect for HPE in United Kingdom, Ireland, Middle East, and Africa. And I'm happy to be here with you today. So I have been in this business for the past 20 years, and I focused on giving community or providing community and a better solution, better services. So today I'm going to talk about how HPE and Midis, we are trying to help to provide this kind of capability of services for the future. And what does a smart city within an IoT ecosystem means, and how we enable governments and public sectors for the good of the public. So yes. So the first thing that we look at as HP as main strategy is how we enable people to live and work in a better life. That's the core thing. And everything around what we do for digitization is across this ecosystem. With this, I think the clicker is not working. So one of the things that we face when we talk about governments and public sector ecosystem is how challenging digitizing the platform, how the IoT, the AI ecosystem and digital environment is being, let's say, addressed. And if you look at the government ecosystem, you'll find so many challenges. They have the digital ecosystem, legislation, regulation, cybersecurity problems, data infrastructure ecosystems, the cultures and the skills of people who is managing and using these technologies. Plus, you'll find how the availability of these services and the centralized leadership of the ecosystem is being addressed. This change or this create a big challenge of how we take that ecosystem, how we can help governments and ecosystem to digitize with ease of challenges. Now, in HB, we have been working with governments in so many sectors, whether they are in education, healthcare, public safety, defense, utility, and many, many areas. And the first thing we focus about is the end user, the beneficiary. And instead of looking at the technology as an enabler, we try to see what does the end user see from his perspective and how we can enable that to him or to them. Now, with this, we have three main foundations that start with how AI can be for the public good to enable that ecosystem. But this comes from three main pillars of digital government, data economy, and smart green cities. These are the main foundation of how the future city look like. And when you see how the dimensions is being categorized, administration more efficient, expand security resiliency, advanced society, public safety, and data security and sovereignty must be a core of this. And to drive that, we look into this as a futuristic perspective, something like this.
Things are embedded with small computers or data sensors. And these smart things are interconnected, the Internet of Things. Well, now our cities are also embedded with smart interconnected devices that compute. Traffic lights, security cameras, parking meters, power stations, water treatment plants, waste management, street lamps, bus stops, turnstiles, autonomous cars, billions of things. The list is endless. And those smart things are getting even smarter and improving our lives. For example, a stoplight. It's attached to a sensor in the road that can detect traffic. The data is analyzed instantly to synchronize traffic lights all over the city to ease congestion. Fewer red lights, less fuel burned, better air quality. But as we deploy more and more smart things around a city, we're also producing more and more data. Well, as it turns out, municipalities are sitting on a digital gold mine. That data has value. You see, in a future city, supercomputers and intelligent devices tied together analyze mountains of data to see patterns and to make intelligent decisions, which in turn make our cities outcome-driven and citizen-centered. which is the whole point of a city, right? To serve its citizens. The insights gathered from data are creating new services and fueling transformation and innovation. We're making transit systems, ticketing, travel, shopping, and other things in our everyday lives smarter and more efficient, giving back to citizens a better quality of life. Except we're doing more than just creating smart cities, cities that are agile, responsive, technology enabled, etc. We're building a city of the future, which is not only technologically smart, but also caring by providing more efficient healthcare and stronger with safer neighborhoods and inclusive by reaching all of our city's citizens. Being able to have a future city that enables human potential and economic growth is fundamental. And HPE is right here to help in that journey.
So we look at such imagination or vision. We look into the three main pillars of a smart society. So it's innovative. So we can use AI, 5G, private 5G, ecosystem from big data, and so many elements from blockchain, HPC, connected environment, human-centric, immersive ecosystem. All of these as a technological innovation allows us to have better sustainability and better livability ecosystem. And we look at sustainability, it's not about the technology itself. It's actually about how we get the hard way between machine and man for partnership as an ecosystem provider, for peacekeeper, sustainable ecosystem that provides social, environmental, and economic growth to the same community. This is what makes the community more stronger. But community consists of people, and these people, they need to have their own needs to be fulfilled, from housing, healthcare, travel, traffic ecosystem, transportation platforms, and also the civil, let's say, partnership communities and so on that is employed to enable that ecosystem for them. Now, to take that view and look into the digital platform that enable this, HP simplify it in our own strategy by, we don't only start with the compute, storage, and network that we provide and we are leader on, and that's our core, but also we look into how we enable that kind of concept to more like the public cloud ecosystem to enable these services, whether for central government agencies that they are more secure, or for the system that support the public to give them better access and better control. And to drive that, HP started with a vision of how we can create this kind of mesh cloud platform. And this cloud ecosystem start with the first thing, the observability, where I understand what's going on to my ground from digital ecosystem, and I take that to the next level. And then I drive an ecosystem of self-service platform that will allow me to not to care about the resources themselves, but to care about the application and the end user who benefiting from them. And then because of the big data and AI enablement, we need to have a central data platform that allow me to take all of these resources and provide that one data location as a source of truth for everything. Now, that is being powered by a virtualization ecosystem, whether from technology or from services, but all this will allow us to have solutions that are very tailored for compute, storage, and network, or we look into a hybrid cloud ecosystem, private ecosystem that allow me to provide this for government agencies or public agencies. It depends on their criticality in their business, and then elevate all these ecosystems to become more cloud enabled through AI and more AI enabled through cloud services. All that with providing this kind of concept of how to measure the value of these solutions from accountability, from governance security, who can access it, how we can control that access, and also keeping the services is nice or having them is good, but protecting them from an attack or protecting them from an error or failure is must. However, when that happens, how can I restore quickly the environment? So keep that experience to the community with the easy and safe. And this where HP comes with also managed service ecosystem where we can allow or we help to drive that move from the technology level all the way to the services ecosystem. And that will take it from edge to cloud as a platform. Now, to realize this on a city language or an ecosystem language, we'll find something like this. So we will find the stakeholders for government ecosystem, the workers, the taxpayers, the government facility, the ecosystem of the government, and then we take it to what kind of challenges they have from trust, accountability, efficiency, agility, and collaboration, and take that collaboration to become what's the driver that we had and avoid and drive and provide as an ecosystem for convenience services. And then link all these, what the individual centric of the human or the citizen and the resident and visitor should have in a city environment. And that fulfill the need of how that whole ecosystem is being in harmony, provide that services. Now, when we take a helicopter view and look from the outside environment, we'll find we have government technology, manufacturing, power, energy, telco, SMB services, and medical ecosystems. All of them go to the how we can enable that platform to become much more. Now, the more you grow with these systems and services, the more you will get better trust, better economy, and better governance, and better services for the consumer layer. So in the top layer as a consumer, they don't have to worry about how can I get to that information or where can I understand my kids' education, let's say, level of school, or how can I get my medical applications. These are irrelevant to the end user. What the end user wants as a beneficiary, they want to have the service in the right cost, with the right time, with the right efficiency for them. And that's where you get the three main pillars of digital platforming or the public services. The digital platform, the consolidated data management, and digital workspace, how we can connect to the end user and how we can serve from the back-end ecosystem. And this is where HP comes in multiple layers. We come with three main areas. So the digital platform itself as one layer, the consolidated data management as a second layer, and then the workspace as a third layer. So how we can connect the services as an ecosystem environment. With this, we think about the only main basic piece as an IoT ecosystem, how we understand this data from the edge to the cloud, and how we can collaborate or can compute this information and collaborate with them to make sure that we have a connected ecosystem as a single platform, one layer. And this is what we do as an ecosystem with HPE platform. Any questions? Any questions? Nice. So you understand everything or you sleep? One of them. Yes. Yes.
Currently, maybe from your side, which government institution are you working with currently? And maybe the second thing, there are the technologies there. How are you addressing the issue of culture change? Because we can have the technology, but government institutions, the culture change for acceptance and use of technology.
Okay, so yes.
Thank you very much. I'm so happy and glad to see the presentation. I've learned a lot.
Likewise.
And I'm so elated. Now, I have a question. Oh, this is more of an IoT. Is it a possibility of combining some of these aspects so that we do not have numerous devices or functionality, but we merge them? Or in short, is there a possibility of virtualization so that a few devices can play the role of more devices, so that in the event we allocate services including IPv6 addresses, then we do not have numerous devices with repeated functionalities? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other questions? So let's
take those two for now, and then if there'll be
sure. So let's take first question. So to ask which government, let's say, entities you work with. So I have been working with digital services for governments for many countries. So and it's not related to a specific government sector. It depends what the government want to achieve as a goal from the top management of the government. So one of the examples in one country is we did a central, let's say, biosystem, the whole community, which means every individual has his own health record, and they pay $1 a year for this service for everyone. But that's just one aspect of digital health ecosystem. In other governments, we created some so-called central government database, which means everything you do as individual, or digital IDs, driving license, talking about kids in schooling, everything you do in, let's say, renting as a house or a car, everything is centralized in a single application that is individually enabled for you. That is being given for the digital identity platform as well. So what happened is when we design these systems, first we need to make sure that this is the same individual is using these services. Because everything is digital. But digital identity is critical. So how we make sure that this is the same individual who is using this service. So we maintain that through digital service, single sign-on ecosystems, OTPs, and so on. Second thing is how we maintain the privacy of the services. So if I want to share your data or my data with the bank to get more information, I need to be consenting the bank to do this for me. So I need to receive a message or receive an information that I allow this instant access for this information for the bank to accept my loan, as example, and so on. When you register the kids to the school, you need to make sure that this kind of ecosystem is enabled. How do I make sure that these kids are vaccinated? Ministry of Health, let's say, record system. So instead of having all these paperwork with me, we make it all digitized, and that's a single ecosystem. And that's where we create the IoT services. Before the session, we were discussing with the committee about what is the best IoT device, based on your question, that we can use. Your smartphone today is the most advanced IoT device. It can understand the surrounding of it with the gyro sensor that it has. It can understand the temperature. It can understand the communication capability. It can connect to the tower ecosystem and services. So you can get GPU-based services with a mobile phone. Because it has a connectivity, you can have application on top of it, allow you to upload information, upload images, and so on. So one of the cases that we supported is government e-visa platforms. So today, in some of the governments that we work with, you don't need to do any paperwork. You go to the application, upload everything digitally, you get an e-visa digital, you have a QR code, and you arrive to the airport with the QR code, and that's it. Everything is being checked. Now, the QR code can be 3 colors, green, yellow, or red. If it's green, this means you're allowed to go to the country without even be checked in. It's done. If it's yellow, this means you have to pass by the immigration office to get checked on the paperwork. Maybe there's no more information they need from you. If it reds, mean you have to check with the visa issuer why there's more queries about you before you leave the country. So there's just a few examples about where we can take digitization IoT ecosystem back to back. Any other questions?
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Saleh.
Okay.